Hi folks, welcome to tonight's presentation. We are having a look at TS 2016 today, and we're going to see something new, aren't we, Adam?
Yes, we certainly are. It's time we do.
It's time we do, absolutely. So I'm joined by Adam.
Hi.
Thanks for joining us, Adam. So just briefly, can you tell us what you do?
So I am producer on TS 16, and that means I have to bring everything together. I have to coordinate it all. Whenever all the minions do their work. So.
Excellent. How long have you been with the company, Adam?
Well, I've actually been here since it was Cujo Entertainment. So actually this week is my 10th year with the software.
10 years?
Yes, they can't get rid of me, I'm afraid. So.
That's epic. That's serious devotion.
Yeah, that was one of the reasons they hired me actually to be a producer on TS 16, because I bring that epic factor. So.
Extremeness. So in that 10 years, what are some of the key projects that people will recognise that you've worked on?
Well, starting back at Cujo, I did some of the original projects, so Oxford Paddington and Hagen-Siegen. I then was a big part of the Isle of Wight production, so I was out there laying the track, doing the photographs. From there I went on to the likes of Portsmouth Direct. I got to lay a lot of that, and then probably one of the last big that I did before moving on to these jobs is London Brighton. So I laid the track and the signalling on that as well.
I do like London Brighton.
It is a great route, especially with the 442 that's just come out recently.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, that's really good. I really like that one. So that's Adam, folks. So Adam, what are we going to look at today?
So we've been looking at a lot of the content that is in Tier 16, and it's now time to show you the front end. It's now time to show you the menu system. What have we got in store for Tier 16?
Excellent. Right, so I think we probably should actually show them it, shouldn't we?
Let's fire it up.
Let's fire it all up and have a look. Right, so I'm going to turn the audio on this time, because I usually forget to turn the audio on. Let's bring the game up. We're up here, folks. Hello. And this is the menu system for TS 2016. It's got the standard background that's currently out there, which is why it says TS 2015 on the top, so don't worry about that. Okay, so talk us through the changes, Adam. What are we going to see?
Okay, so one of the biggest things is we've moved away from the grey to a more blue scheme. We take a lot of feedback from our users, and we felt that going to a blue and a more fresh feel would be quite a significant thing to bring in. So yeah, the first thing we've got here is more of a blue feel to it, although keeping our favourite Academy orange there as well. It's a personal favourite of mine, that is.
Excellent.
Going into the drive menu, you'll notice the blue. So again, we felt that the grey was a bit too overpowering, so yeah, we've brought in the blue. It's now the dominant colour. We've got our quick drive here. What you'll probably notice though is we haven't changed very much.
I was just thinking, fundamentally, it's very recognisable. I'm not going to have to learn to do anything different now.
No, the last thing we wanted to do was change for change's sake, so we've kept everything that our users like the most. So we have our quick drive, we have our career, our standard, but at the end there we now have workshop.
Fantastic.
So again,
workshop used to be on the profile screen, which always felt a little bit
it was very hidden away,
yeah.
and we felt, yeah, it's a drive mode, it's something people use an awful lot, our community supports it massively, so yeah, it should be out there, it should be with all the other modes.
Do you know there's about somewhere in the region of 10,000 scenarios and routes
it
on
is crazy.
Workshop? It's amazing, isn't it?
And it's all our beautiful community as well.
And that's all community generated content, and it's all freely downloadable from Steam Workshop, and there is some stunning stuff on there. So if you haven't looked at Workshop, then look, and this makes it so much easier to find.
Exactly, so you're choosing your mode of drive. If we go to Workshop, one of the biggest community requested things as well with the Workshop is the fact that when they are playing their scenarios, they might not complete them first time round, so they want to resume. So for Tier 16, we've brought in this resume button down the bottom here as well.
Superb. Yes, that's hit me a couple of times as well. That's good to see. But again, nothing else seems to have really changed. The browse button's where I'm expecting it to be, and so is all the other functionality. So that's really cool. The other thing that I noticed the first time I started the game up here was that when we went into the drive menu, actually defaulted to the career screen. Which it didn't do just now because we've had the game running for a little while, did it? But yeah, defaulted the career screen. What happened? What's the reasoning behind that change?
So again, as users will know, one of the big things about our content is that we run the career scenarios. We want our players to perform well. We think it's a very driving and dynamic part of the game. And when we get a lot of new users in, their first clicks through to the drive menu is a bit too much of a choice level. And there's so much content in the game when you buy it first out that we want to present that to them.
Okay.
So by defaulting to the career tab, without changing any of the orders, within a few clicks you can start the game and launch straight into a scenario and be presented with that beautiful content.
I know I've seen a couple of people when I've been watching some streams and so forth who have done what they thought was the first thing the game asked them to do, and they were driving some random quick drive almost that was not necessarily completely appropriate, and it was confusing for them. So by switching to career, that feels like they're going to get more structured experiences.
Exactly, and as we've shown with some of the content that's coming with Tier 16, there is now introductory scenarios. So these are aspects where the player doesn't even need to necessarily engage. They can just sit back and enjoy the content they purchased.
Okay, so that's looking really good. So that is the drive screen. The other thing I've just seen on the bottom left corner there, we've got leaderboards, because previously you had to actually run the scenario to get access to leaderboard. Exactly that.
Now this is something that, again, the community fed back to us and we've massively taken on board. We want to engage with those aspects. So yes, one of the aspects of career is that you get scored and you get onto our ranking system, onto our leaderboards. But like you say, what are you doing when I'm drawing a scenario? What was your score? What was my score? We feel there's a motivation in there. So if your friends are up on that list and you want to see what their performance is, you can scroll through the list and sure enough, here they come. And we can see what we've been scoring, what people have been up to.
And I'm driven to say, I feel like I want to beat some of those scores.
And somebody here, Alex, has not got 1,000 points, so there's some space there.
There's a window of opportunity. So that's really good. I like that. I really like that a lot. So you've got all the standard leaderboard files, so Friends, Global and Top, they're all there available to you without having to play the scenario first, which is very
And the great aspect is it used empty retail space. So before, that was just an empty aspect of the menu. So again, we've not shifted anything. We've not caused any concerns about moving elements around.
Added something new in without changing anything else. That's really good use of that. Sort of feels like it naturally fits in that slot as well.
Exactly.
Very good. So if we go back to the main menu, there was something else I just noted that occurs to me that was niggling me earlier on, and there's less buttons. I'm sure there's less buttons than there used to be.
Yes, so we used to have an engine driver button. And this was the link to the community, the link to the content and the proposals that everyone has been putting through to us. And we've now got this as a small button at the top here because all these aspects here are aspects of the game. And clicking the engine driver button was a bit of a confusion with Academy. People thought engine driver, they would go and learn there. And instead that was taking them out of the game. So it was an inappropriate drive. So yeah, we've kept all the main drive and store functions and kept the community just up here in the corner.
So one other thing that was really interesting, because I was thinking about that community button earlier on, so that's engine driver now. So it does exactly the same as the engine driver button did.
Well, it's our community, I would say.
Yeah. But it's now available on all the menus.
That's exactly
previously
right.
Engine Driver was the link was only actually on the front page. Now it's anywhere. So if you're sitting somewhere and you think, actually, just to have a look on Engine Drivers, you can now do that very easily.
Exactly that. Yeah, browsing the content, browsing the articles, maybe looking at what's coming up, even the Tier 16 previews.
Super. Yes, don't forget, enginedriver.com is where you need to go for all your Tier 16 news, and don't forget Facebook as well, folks. So that's the drive menu. We've looked at the change on the engine driver community button. What are we going to look at next? Oh,
profile before we go anywhere else. Again,
okay, let's do
it was
profile.
just a show. So on the profile, again, we can see that we're keeping with the original style. We're refreshing it with better colours and more vibrancy.
Yep.
You can see here that we've already played some of the scenarios on Academy, and I've already gained 2,000 points. So these lead into some of the aspects we want to talk about with Academy.
Okay. Before we go to Academy, there was something you were telling me about earlier on that I was getting a bit excitable about. If we go back to the main menu, I'm quite easily excitable, to be honest. If you go into drive screen,
the drive screen,
and You were telling me about the search function. Now, I love the search function 2 bits in TS15, but you're saying it's even better in TS16.
Yes, again, it felt very restrictive in TS15. You had to almost know what you were searching for, which obviously isn't the point of a search function. So in TS16, we've opened it up. This was part of the feedback through the patches that we've been doing, the upgrades. And now you can search, be it the scenario name, the route name, the rolling stock name. You can search any aspect of the content that's on that menu now. So,
so if you know what
we might be
you want to
looking
drive.
Exactly that. We might be looking at the BR15 and Cologne Koblenz here, but I could search Sherman to bring up any of that content, or I could search the turbine, or maybe even a castle if Ben Jervis is out there.
So that's really cool, actually. That's going to make the search functionality, and it's just transparent. You're not doing anything different. You're typing things, and it's just searching more areas for that stuff. So
exactly that. We totally recognise there's an awful lot of content in Train Simulator, and our customers need easier ways to find it.
Yes, and that's not just official content. That's anything they've got.
Anything at all. Yeah, it's based on terms. It's not based on our content.
That's very cool. Okay. So I think it's time to have a look at Academy. So we've marketed this for TS15. But we want to reiterate that it's not actually just a limited thing to a previous release. It is an ongoing entity. It is part of the game just as much as Quick Drive or Career Mode are. Okay. So let's dive in there. The purpose of Academy is to get people who don't necessarily know how to drive trains, but they have an idea, I know you go backwards and forwards and things like that. Well, it actually shows you the controls. One thing we don't do in Academy is teach you how to use the game or how to use the software. It's how do you drive those trains? How do you get to grips with them? Okay. So one obvious factor is that we've moved away from the orange. A slight downer for me because obviously it's my favourite colour. But yes, again, we're consistency there. And you may notice one of the big aspects is that instead of telling you have a tutorial on the SD70 Mac, or how about trying your hand at the BR4F? Again, for our new users, that might not be the terminology they're after. They don't really know what an SD70 Mac is, do they?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, you'll be looking at the traction types. So here we have diesel primary controls or electric primary controls. Now, we haven't got an exhaustive list out of the box, but as I say, Academy is all about expansion and it's going to progress over time. And it's something, again, as I say, with Tier 16, we want to bring back to the fold. That it's, although I say it's not just for new users, it could be a refresher course. Maybe you are an expert at driving diesels or PZB, should we say.
He looks at me when he talks about being an expert at PZB. What's going on here?
You might want to learn, right, how do I grapple a steam engine then? Because I know how to use the throttle and brake, but then I don't find those controls in a steam engine, so where do I go with that? And obviously the content in Academy has been very much broken down into bite-sized chunks.
Right.
So you don't need to sit there reading a manual for half an hour. It's dip in, dip out, and it's very informative, very straight to the point.
Okay.
So if I click on the Steam, for example here, it's literally just talking about the main controls.
Yeah.
Or if I go down to the secondary controls, it's just the headlamp and whistle.
Okay.
So it really gets to the point and helps you find the content that you're after.
The other thing I noticed is that the previously the very first at the top of the list was actually the steam engine, which I think threw a bunch of people because they thought that was going to be. It's actually probably one of the hardest things to start doing, isn't it?
Exactly. No, we were at fault of the alphabetical sorting system. So by changing it to traction type, we've been able to bring diesel to the top, and then filtering down multiple units, electric, and then steam.
I think that
so it's far more natural progression
much
through.
Nicer ordering. You've still got the name on the type field there, so you can see if you're interested. You still can see what the class or loco is. I just want to say, by the way, we're getting lots of really great suggestions coming in from the community about the changes that you want to see in TS 2016. Steve is on the chat and he is taking pages of notes. Really appreciate everything that you're telling us.
And we do read them all. We really do.
And we're going to be giving serious consideration to everything you're saying. So keep the ideas flooding in and your feedback. And if there's any questions, post those up, and we'll see if we can get to a Q&A at the end of the session here. Okay, so we've got Academy. I can see stars.
Yes, so previously we had little coins, little icons that indicated you had completed the scenario, but this again was an inconsistency with some of the aspects that we have, and we just wanted to iron that stuff out. So with Tier 16, we've gone through, we've refreshed, we've looked at things and decided, no, this could be far more simple. This could be more straightforward, more useful to the user.
Okay. So if I run one of these Academy scenarios, do I get XP?
You do. So previously, Academy was more a completion basis.
Yeah.
But with Tier 16 again, we've said, well, why is that the case? We want to reward our users for their efforts and for trying things that they may not have thought about.
So how many scenarios am I going to get 1,000 XP for?
Well, actually, in the Academy, there are 45 straight out of the box, and that's merely as you start. So over time, we'll be adding more with the different DLCs and more complex DLCs, but literally 45 times 1,000 points.
So for those of you who are looking to build that career score up, these are 45 5-minute scenarios, and at the end of that, you'll get some better knowledge, you'll refresh your knowledge, and 45,000 XP.
Exactly
or
that.
thereabouts. It's something like that, isn't it?
And some of the scenarios don't even require you to interact. They're more demonstrating to you the things that can occur.
Yeah, so that's a really good way of bulking that score up to get you going. You can see we're halfway through to level 5. I mean, all we've done is 2 Academy scenarios so
Definitely.
far. What about achievements?
Achievements are in there as well. So for every single Academy scenario you complete, a Steam achievement will appear. And you may have noticed back on our profile screen, just before we were signing in, we've completed 2 scenarios there based on the ST70 Mac.
That's brilliant. Okay, so again, if you're collecting achievements, you can get 45 or so achievements pretty much straight off the bat just by running through Academy. And we definitely would recommend running through Academy just to refresh your knowledge anyway. So going back to Academy, has the actual content, so we've changed the way it's presented, we've made it nicer, easier to find, has the actual content in Academy changed?
Yes. I mean, as with many things with Train Simulator, we don't just complete a project and then move on. We're constantly revising, checking, reading our feedback, seeing what the community feel about it, and then deciding, yeah, I think we can do better there. So again, with the Academy and the simplicity and the kinds of aspects that are covered, we've looked at the experience the player gets and thought, do you know what, we can do better and we can make it more exciting.
All right then. So should we take a look at one then?
Let's do that. Let's
take a look at the what we're going to look at.
We'll go straight for the number 1. So this is the first scenario that our users would play if they fired up Academy.
Okay, let's do that.
Always the great reveal. I do like the great reveals.
The cinematic cameras are really good, aren't they?
Definitely, I do love them. So, this is the cab of an SD70 Mac. Here you'll be taught how to start and stop a diesel locomotive. The camera will change each time a control is set correctly. Close this message box to continue.
Okay.
Notice I don't touch the keyboard in any way. Direction. So to get this train moving, you need to set the direction by adjusting the reverser. Set this forward by pushing the control away. Let's grab that. Looks like the rail driver.
It does.
Now we need to release the brakes. To do this, pull the large lever all the way down. This controls the brake pressure along our train. It's quite a heavy lever. So power, finally we need some power. This is controlled by the throttle. Pull the lever halfway down to apply a bit of power. Let's grab that there. There we go. Now as ever, big American diesels, very heavy. There's a lot of power behind them, but they might take a few seconds to get going. And here we go. So just with a few clicks of the mouse, I haven't touched the keyboard, I haven't read a manual. Congratulations, we're driving this train.
Superb. So really what Academy is trying to do is actually encourage you to put that HUD away and actually drive real controls in the train.
That's just it, yes. We don't want to teach you the software, we want to teach you about trains. That's what you bought the software for.
Okay.
So, for a constant speed, to maintain it, we do not need any power and can just coast along. Move the throttle back to the centre position between the brake and the power indicators. However, if it's a heavy train or there are gradients while hauling, it may affect your speed, so a low throttle might be required.
I think in this case we're on the level, aren't we?
Pretty much, yeah. So let's push that very slowly up. That should do fine. There we go, and our speed
on the camera's just automatically happening. So once you've moved the control to the right position, it just says that's sort of how it acknowledges you've done the right thing.
Exactly that, yeah. So we've got a little fact here while we drive along. Trains are very heavy and can need a lot of force to get moving. it's not a good idea to apply maximum power from a standing start, as it may affect wheel slip or damage the couplers.
Yeah.
Being a light engine, though, we kind of rocketed off a bit there.
Did a bit, didn't it? Okay.
So, we've been travelling along a bit. Now let's look at stopping. We're running out of track. So, to stop, we don't have any wagons, so we don't need the full braking power. We're going to use the independent brake. So that's the small lever. And we're going to push it a small amount forward. Again, self-acknowledged. And you can see there already that our speed is beginning to drop. But it's all done in a very relaxed, controlled manner. There's no worrying about AI, there's no worrying about signals.
Yeah.
It's more, I'm here with the train, I can find out what's going on. I can look around and get used to my environment.
Yeah. It's very good. I know we had an awful lot of positive feedback about Academy in TS15, so this is really taking everything that was right about it and just making it better, isn't it? It's polish.
Exactly that, exactly that. So, congratulations, we've successfully started and stopped our locomotive, and that's all with just the mouse, the 3D controls, no keyboards, no manuals at all.
Superb.
And we are done.
Now, we're not going to earn another 1,000 XP, are we?
No, that would be cheating.
Okay, right. Now, moving on. So, let's just have a quick look back at Academy then. So, in fact, before we go any further, just apologies, folks. I am just going to bring up that thing which always takes forever to get started. Right, so that's basically it.
Yes, short and to the point.
Short and to the point, that's basically, you'll notice the community, as we said, is always here. Store is available, so you can always get back into the in-game DLC store to top up your collection if you see you've got something missing.
Yeah, the search function is across all the menus, so it's not just limited to scenarios.
Yep. So that's pretty much it. So just as a quick recap, what we've looked at then, we've taken a look at the overall style change, gone to a more blue. The other thing that is that I've noticed is that the contrast is much greater now.
Much greater, yeah.
Yeah. So
definitely.
if you were having difficulty, what I think it was light grey or dark grey, I think before, then this is going to be much easier on your eyes, much easier to see. So that's a big positive change. The engine driver button has been removed and replaced with the community button in the top right, which is available on all menus. Then in the drive screen, it defaults to the career option. Again, you've got cleaner style. We've got workshop available in the drive screen.
Yeah, I'm really excited about actually that, bringing that out of the fold, putting it right there in the front.
You can resume scenarios right there from the workshop screen if you've saved your progress. Search has been expanded so that it now takes into account loco type, route name, and the scenario name. Previously, it was just the scenario name. Ranking on leaderboards is now in that bottom left slot, so you don't have to play the scenario to see how your friends are doing, which can help boost that competitive element, I think, when you can see if your friend has got better score than you, and you can go back and have another go. Bearing in mind, if you go back and have another go and you get a better score than you did last time, you get a bit more XP.
Exactly, so as you saw on the drive screen there, somebody only had 998, so there's a little spot for someone to get there.
Yeah, exactly. And the profile screen, essentially the same, but with the new blue styling. Academy has lost the majority of the orange styling and followed on for suit with the blue styling. All of the naming of the Academy scenarios has been cleaned and really makes it a lot easier to see what you want to do.
But of course, those aspects of Academy, because that is a free aspect of the game that goes to all users, it will be appearing just shortly after release of TS16.
Oh, that's really important then. So yes, what happens when TS 2016 launches will be more akin to the current Academy, and then a little while after there'll be a big update to Academy which gets it up to this standard we've shown here today.
Yeah.
So.
It's all about the fact that things keep developing.
And that's a free update. You don't need to do anything once it goes out, and you'll find out about Engine Driver Facebook as usual when that's going to happen and all the detail of that.
Yeah, Academy is not exclusive.
Yeah. So everyone gets that. That's just part of it. If you've got TS, you get the Academy. And then the scenarios themselves have had a really good polish to smooth the flow and make it clearer.
Exactly that.
Again, feeding back to all of the feedback we
Yeah,
have.
no one wants to read a manual. We want to get in and drive those trains.
Absolutely, and it is all about really getting you driving the train properly. And understanding how the levers and controls work.
One note actually is how does Academy differ from driver assist? So the point of Academy is to get you up and running with those controls, whereas driver assist, which is once you've got there, once you can drive a train, it helps you get the best out of that.
So driver assist that Adam's just mentioned there, we mentioned that in I think the second stream, so this is a function on steam engines, so that it will prompt you in a scenario, in an actual scenario, not a training scenario, so that you can say, you should move the cutoff back. And driver assist is what happens after Academy, essentially. So Academy tells you how to drive the train, and then driver assist reminds you how to drive the train, essentially.
Exactly that.
Exactly. Right. So that's basically everything we've looked at now. Have they been good? Do you think we should give a couple of T-shirts away?
I reckon so. I do like the look of the T-shirt you're wearing.
Oh, this is the T-shirt, folks. This is the T-shirt. It's got these rather splendid...
I am very impressed as well. There's even some French and Russian.
I've just realised we're showing you the T-shirt and we're in a tiny little post-it note in the top corner of the screen. Well, let me switch back to the camera. There you go. This is the T-shirt, folks. It says TS 2016. Have you got the other one?
I have, just here.
There you go. Hold it up, Adam. So that's the back. It says TS 2016, and around the front is these rather splendid train models. So... Right.
They wouldn't give it to me, I'm afraid. Matt got one.
Ask the right person at the right time when he's not concentrating and you get anything you want. Okay, so we need a keyword.
A keyword. Let's go with Academy.
Academy is the first keyword. So, folks, what you need to type, if I can type it incorrectly and spell it right, is you need to type Academy, lowercase letters, A-C-A-D-E-M-Y. Can't read.
We don't have a tutorial for that, I'm afraid.
No. Put it into the chat. Lowercase letters, no symbols or anything else. That will enter you into the giveaway. So while everyone's entering that, let me tell you about the giveaway. The giveaway is for one of these T-shirts and for a Loco DLC of your choice. What we will do is we're going to run 2 of these today. And at the end of the stream, within the next 24 hours, someone will get in touch with you via Twitch messaging. So it'll be in your inbox or possibly another one marked other. If it's anything one marked other, it probably means you haven't followed the channel, you naughty people. So press the follow button right now. So if you look out for that message, if you're a winner, and we'll get in touch just to make sure we can talk to you. You can receive our messages, okay. When we get to the launch of TS 2016, which is
not very far away
now, it's very close now, then what we'll do is get back in touch with everybody, sort out what Loco DLCs you want, get your addresses, and get the prizes out to you. So it'll all be coming out after the launch of TS 2016, but you will hear from us within the next 24 hours just to confirm that you are a winner and we can talk to you.
More things to look forward to.
Superb. Right, so after all of that, I'm going to press the roll button. I'm going to try typing here. Last time I did this, it disconnected the chat. It didn't. Excellent. Okay, let's roll it.
Who's it going to be?
Air Lazy.
Air Lazy.
Congratulations, Air Lazy.
It's on its way to you.
What? Not yet, it isn't. Well, once we've launched it.
TS 16.
Once TS 2016 is out, then
2 weeks. 2 weeks away.
Right, so that's Air Lazy. Congratulations, Air Lazy. Now, Adam, I'm going to call on you one more time. I need another keyword.
What should we go with? What should we go with? Orange.
Oh, orange. Orange is the keyword, folks. Type orange into the chat, and
slightly obsessed.
If you can type orange, O-R-A-N-G-E, all lowercase letters, into the chat, and that will enter you into the giveaway. That's it, we've got people entering now. So just to remind you, prize is one of these rather splendid T-shirts, Loco DLC of your choice, and we will get in touch with you after the stream. If you don't hear from us within 24 hours, get in touch via Facebook or leave a message on Engine Driver so that we can, because it may well be, that's the point, we're trying to prove that the communication will work with you. And so the place to look for the message is in your, if you go into Twitch, there's an option for messaging, and in there you'll find inbox, outbox, and in some cases there'll be one that says other. So look in the one that says inbox and the one that says other, and you should see a message. So if you're missing a message, go and have a look there now, and don't forget to check the one that marked other. Otherwise than that, you should get a message. If you don't, do let us know so that we can rectify that. I've seen a couple of people type it with a capital O. Please make sure you type it with a lowercase o. Right. I'm going to do the countdown. And our next winner, if I can find the mouse, there it is. Scary Bagel SSA. Fantastic. So congratulations, Scary Bagels. I'm just going to call you Scary Bagels. Scary Bagels SA. There you go. So congratulations, you are our second winner. So congratulations to Air Lazy and Scary Bagels SA. You'll be hearing from us in the next 24 hours. If you don't hear from us in the next 24 hours, or if you have won previously and you haven't heard, get in touch, and we will rectify that and try and get in touch with you. Superb. Right, have we finished?
I think that's everything, yeah.
I think that's everything we need to cover this evening. So thank you very much to Adam for taking time out of your busy schedule to come and join us.
Thank you for having me.
And really liking what I'm seeing.
It's going to be good.
Well done to you and the team.
Thank you very much.
It's really looking good. So, folks, thank you very much for watching, taking time out of your schedule to come and see this. Don't forget that tomorrow at 5 p.m, brain is going somewhere else, we are doing the advanced DLC preview on this channel. So come along and join me, and we'll take a look at some upcoming DLC. I don't know what that is yet. I will find out tomorrow, I'm sure. And we will, and then next Thursday we've got the next of the first look schedules at 7 p.m. as usual, and there'll be another giveaway then. Right. Thanks very much, everybody, once again, and I will see you all tomorrow at Friday at 5 o'clock. I'm going to stop talking now. Bye, folks. Thanks a lot.